I still remember the sound. That heavy slap the king gave his daughter. It echoed through the courtyard like thunder. Even the birds flew off the palace wall. The princess did not cry. She just stood there, holding her cheek, while her eyes burned with quiet anger. That was the day everything changed in the kingdom of Akhenaten. That was the day Princess Adia chose love and pain. My name is Mfon. I was the palace gardener. I saw it all with my own eyes. I watched love rise like morning sun and get crushed like dry leaves. But I also saw it survive even after everyone tried to kill it. Adia was the only daughter of King Eshon, ruler of our village. People said she was born under a bright moon, and that's why her skin always looked like it carried light. But she was not proud. She talked to everyone. Even me. When she was a child, she would come and sit beside me while I walked in the garden. She loved flowers, especially the white hibiscus. She would ask me strange questions. Mfon, why do some flowers die even when you water them? I would tell her, some things die, Adia, not because we don't love them, but because their time is up. She would nod like she understood. She grew fast. And when she turned 19, the suitors started coming. Princes from far and near. Rich men. Young chiefs. Even the son of a governor. All of them brought gifts. But Adia said no to all of them. Why? Her mother asked one night. I was watering flowers near the window and heard her voice. Why do you keep saying no? Adia said something that made my hands stop moving. I don't want someone who is chasing the crown, she said. I want someone who sees me, not my father's throne. His name was Item. He was not a prince. Not a chief. Not even a man of wealth. Item was a woodcarver. His house stood at the edge of the village, under a tall mango tree. He was quiet. He never came to palace events. He was always alone. But his hands could turn ordinary wood into life. The king once bought a stool from him, not knowing who made it. He praised the work for weeks. Item was in his late 50s. Gray hair. Wrinkles. His back was starting to bend. But his eyes were kind. And when he spoke, it was like calm rain falling on a hot day. I first saw them together behind the garden. Adia had come to pick hibiscus again. But this time, she wasn't alone. Item stood beside her. They weren't touching. They were just talking. But there was something in the way she looked at him. Soft. Like she had found a secret place inside herself. I didn't say anything. I just lowered my eyes and walked away. But I knew then, trouble had entered the kingdom. It was the guards who told him. One of them had followed Adia secretly, as the king instructed. They found her sitting in Item's compound. Laughing. Talking. Holding his hand. The king was silent at first. Then he broke a calabash on the floor and shouted, "You mean my daughter is sitting with that old man like a market girl?" I wasn't in the room. But the whole palace shook with his anger. Later, I saw him storm out of the hall, walking fast. His face was red. His eyes wild. He met Adia in the courtyard. Item was not there. That was when he slapped her. "You have brought shame to this house," he shouted. Adia stood straight. She did not shake. Her voice was calm, but firm. "I love him," she said. "And I'm not leaving him." People say curses were thrown that day. The king told her she would no longer eat from the palace kitchen. That she was no longer a princess. Adia looked at him, eyes full of tears, but not weakness. "I didn't ask to be born in this house," she said. "But I choose my own heart." They made her sleep in a small hut at the back of the palace. The queen stopped talking to her. The maids refused to touch her clothes. Her friends disappeared. I still brought her flowers. I still brought her food. Sometimes she cried in silence. Sometimes she sang songs to herself. I remember one night, she sang a lullaby to no child, just herself, her head on her knees. She was alone. Itam tried to see her many times, but the guards pushed him away. They told him he had no right to step near the palace. But still, he came. Every day. He would stand far at the gate, holding a wooden carving. Sometimes it was a bird. Sometimes a flower. He would place it on the ground and leave. I would pick it and give it to her. She kept all of them. She said, "These are my treasures now." There was a festival coming, the yearly egg dance. Normally, Adia would dance first before the maidens, dressed in coral beads and white chalk. But this year, she was not invited. Her name was removed from everything. The king announced he was opening her hand in marriage again. He told the people, "My daughter was sick in the head, but now she is better. We will find her a worthy husband." But Adia was not sick. She had only chosen what no one expected. And for that, they called her mad. On the day of the festival, the drum started early in the morning. They beat loud. But I noticed something strange. Adia wasn't in her hut. Her wrapper was gone. Her mat was empty. Then someone shouted from the village square, "She's walking with the old man." I ran with the others. I pushed through the crowd. And what I saw, I will never forget. Adia was holding Item's hand, walking slowly in the open square, wearing her white festival wrapper. Her hair was tied in the royal style. Item wore a clean, plain wrapper. Nothing else. She walked right to the king and said, "I want to dance with the man I love. Even if you kill me after, I will not hide again." People were frozen. The drums stopped. No one moved. Then the king rose from his chair and pointed at her. "You have died to me," he said. "Leave now, or you will be dragged out." She turned and left. No tears. No shaking. Just silence. Itam followed behind her. That was the day she lost her name as a princess. Adia left the palace that night. She didn't take clothes. She didn't take gold. She walked barefoot to Item's small hut and lived there with him. She slept on a bamboo mat. She cooked with firewood. She fetched water from the stream. The same hands that once wore royal rings now carried firewood and washed clothes. Some people laughed. "She's finished," they said. "See how a princess is now washing plates for an old man." But I saw her. I saw the way she looked at Itam when he was carving. I saw how she cleaned his wounds when he fell one day while cutting wood. I saw the peace in her face. Something no prince had ever given her. She had nothing, but she smiled more than when she lived in the palace. Itam fell sick during the cold season. It started small, coughing, weakness. Then his legs stopped carrying him well. He stayed on his mat more often. His tools remained untouched. And one day, he couldn't speak clearly. Adia ran from place to place, looking for herbs, asking healers, crying at shrines. Nobody wanted to help. "He's too old," they said. "What do you expect?" Even the king's healer said no. "She chose her life," he told the queen. "Let her eat the fruit of it." I was the only one who visited her. I brought pap, brought bitter leaf, helped her grind bark. Sometimes, I sat outside and listened to her pray. "Please, don't take him from me." "Not yet. I gave up everything for him. Don't let it end like this." But Itam grew worse. One day, she came to me and said, "Mfon, help me carry him to the river. He wants to see the water again before he dies." We lifted him and took him there. He looked at the water for a long time, then said, "I have never been this loved in my whole life." Then he held her hand, smiled, and closed his eyes. Adia screamed that day. Her voice cut through the forest. People say even the trees shook. After the burial, the village kept quiet. The king didn't speak of her. The queen kept to herself. But I noticed something. The villagers began to whisper differently. Some of them began to say, she really loved him. Others said, maybe love is not about age or class. Adia never returned to the palace. She lived alone in the house he left behind. She carved. She planted. She stayed silent. But the king, he started falling sick too. At first, he said it was just age. But I think it was guilt. One night, I overheard him talking to the queen. I chased my daughter out. I slapped her for loving. Now the man is dead, and I have nothing to give her. What kind of father am I? The queen did not answer. 3 years passed. Adia never married again. But she became a teacher for young girls. She taught them how to use their hands. She told them stories, not the kind you hear in the palace, but the ones that teach you how to stand alone. One day, the king sent for me. He was lying on his mat, thinner than I had ever seen him. Mfon, he said, please call my daughter. I want to see her before I join my ancestors. I went to her house. When she saw me, she looked afraid. Is he sick? She asked. Yes, I said. He wants to see you. She followed me. Quietly. When she entered his hut, the king raised his hand and said, I cursed you. I punished you. But you still chose love. I didn't know what I had done until I saw you bury that man with your own hands. He started to cry. I'm sorry, my daughter. Please forgive me. She knelt down beside him and said, I already forgave you, Papa. The day he died, I let go of everything else. They wept together. The queen came in and held both of them. The king died 2 weeks later. At his burial, it was Adia who spoke. She said only one thing. I was his daughter. I am his daughter still. And when they asked who should sit in the royal chair beside the new chief, the people shouted, let Adia sit. She is the one who showed us what love really is.